Good afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are. This is the Rats Get Fat podcast. I am Jake Straat and I'm joined by my friend
Zuzz.
And we are in Western Australia in East Vic Park at a very special tattoo shop called Holdfast Tattoo, owned by a wonderful human being, Zuzz.
Yeah, and a very, very well-known and talented tattooer.
Now, several years ago, I was where I was in Cairns tattooing, and I wanted to kind of come out to the East Coast to spend time with this person, get a tattoo from this person, and work alongside this person. So I made it happen, and I was very, very stoked and fortunate to come out here to work with the lovely Suzi Q. Hey, Suzi.
Hi, guys. It's so nice to have you in WA.
Welcome to your own shop.
Well, I haven't been in it all weekend, so it's nice to be back.
Yeah, you've been working hard, just like the rest of us.
And we have.
Yeah.
Because we just did the West Oz Tattoo Expo together.
We did. And how good was it?
It was unreal.
Very, very good. Had
It
a
was
very good time.
amazing. Yeah.
You were on stage judging.
I was.
You had a chat. You had a talk.
I did a discussion on WA history, tattoo history.
Wow.
With Dan Malloy. Wow.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was in with the tattooing greats in there. I kind of felt a little bit nervous, but it was good. It was a very good experience, actually.
No, that's awesome. It was a really, really well-run convention, especially for that first
For
time
a first
around.
go, right?
Yeah.
I think they've been doing their research.
Yeah.
Even somebody just messaged me now and said, was that Reese that put that on? Reese Gordon?
Oh,
and I was
yes.
like, oh no, but kudos to Angus and Tess if they seem like they put on a Reese tattoo convention right from day one.
Yeah, it was
Epic.
crazy. The venue really was a standout for
Yeah.
me.
Doesn't it make such a difference
Yeah.
if you have, that kind of architecture and rather than a big hall, kind of
was
does make it a
crazy.
little bit different.
Yeah.
It was magnanimous, I guess. Yeah.
a word.
Magnanimous.
I walked in and yeah, you see these big this big organ, and then you look up at the ceiling and it's, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's one of the most beautiful buildings I've ever been in.
And all the way at the very top. Now, I didn't actually realize this, but Driz came up to me and he said, did you notice the Aboriginal artwork on the inside of all the beams?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, how the heck did they put it up that
Yeah.
high?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And throughout the day, the sunlight coming through the big the window.
Yeah,
big
the stain-
circular
The big
window.
circular
Yeah.
stained glass window.
Oh, crazy.
Beautiful.
It was interesting because all my clients all weekend also had like a story to tell about Winthrop Hall. So I tattooed my friend Mikey and he's like, last time I was here, mate, it was my graduation from high school and we were all dancing and stuff. Anyway, every client had a story about that they'd spent time in Winthrop Hall, whether it was, this or that. Like it's an iconic building and they fucking nailed it. Angus and Tess nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, I think even the fact that the UWA just, let them put it on in there because
Yeah.
tattooing maybe doesn't have the greatest reputation.
No.
To actually be in there was fantastic. That's the first time I've been in there or even on that campus.
Really?
Yeah. And to see it, because we got there very, very early the first day because I didn't quite get set up on time. So to kind of almost see it sunrise and then when I left, kind of really misty and kind of nighttime, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Magic, hey?
Yeah, it really was. Like when I left and it was all mystical and there's the kind of the pond and everything out the front and all the lights. And after a great day of tattooing, I was just like, wow, this is something special.
It looked like it reminded me of like Roman architecture or something.
Yeah.
I was like walking through there. I'm like, dude, am I in like Europe right now? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. I was like, spending that whole weekend in there kind of thinking to myself, it's crazy where doing little drawings can take you away.
It's funny though, because they're giving us this opportunity to work in these heritage listed buildings because me and Suzi just also worked the Sydney convention, Reese Gordon's Sydney convention, and there wasn't the plastic matting and it was these beautiful wooden floors. And they said to us, they were like, now just don't drop anything or mess up the floor. I said, yeah, no worries, mate, whatever. Anyway, one person that I know that I won't name, but I might be wearing his T-shirt, fingers at Westside, rip. He dropped like a big bottle of red ink all over the floor and he was like in such a hurry to clean it all up. He was using his own merch to like mop it up and it was this big red stain. Did you see that?
No, and I was only just behind his stall as well.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
eh?
so he dropped like an 8-ounce bottle of red ink and it went all over the floor and it was this big thing. It was horrible.
Yeah, good luck cleaning that up.
Yeah.
Poor dude. He'd like covered his whole body in it. Like it was just like, yeah, poor fucker. He seemed a bit defeated.
He looked like he's just been in a massacre or something.
But I thought it was funny at Winthrop Hall. It was like they gave us plastic matting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's
It's
not.
like Dexter, right? I walked in there.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
this is for a crime scene.
Yes.
This is to take the body out at the end of
Yeah.
the
Oh, 100%.
convention.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. Fair enough, though. It was a lovely, like, old wooden
Yeah.
floor. You wouldn't want to get anything on there.
For sure. Yeah. Because Sydney was wild too, hey?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That was-
The first year I worked it did exactly what I wanted it to do, which was just reinvigorate me on not tattooing, but tattoo conventions, because I just hadn't done any for so long. So yeah, when I found out that Reese was going to put that one on and in the town hall, I just thought will be something special, especially when I saw the lineup, kind of mayors, people I haven't seen for years and years, like 15
Yes.
years or more. So walking in there and just kind of seeing people probably a little bit younger than me, but maybe tattooing around the same kind of time. Yeah, it was brilliant. So I knew as soon as it was announced, I was like, please invite me back. Actually, when the application came through, it was like the first year I did all this, like, I'm Suzi and I'm from Perth and I've been tattooing 20 years. And it was all very much like that. The second time I was just like, please let me come back.
There you go. And they gave you another shot.
Yeah.
As they should though.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I had the most wild imposter syndrome, and I thought I don't belong here with all these top tier tats,
Well, I
tat
felt the
lords.
same. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. But what you actually realize when you walk around, and Anna said the same thing, was that, you know, you buy a print from someone and they're like, oh my God, thank you so, so much. And you're like, what, thank me? Like, thank you, you're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But everyone has that kind of like, oh, you want to buy a print from me? That's fantastic.
Yes.
So everyone has the same feeling, I think, of
For
being like,
sure.
should I be here? I'm not good enough.
Yeah. I think we all carry a bit of imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really weird because we'd worked all weekend with Freddie Corbin. You were actually very close to Freddie Corbin's booth.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone at home knows who Freddie Corbin is. If you don't, just chuck him into Google and you'll find out. Now, I hopped in. My uncle came and picked me up. My uncle lives in North Sydney. And in the bottom of his house, he's got like a guest house that he was putting me up in. He goes, oh, I've got this painting of this very famous tattooer in the bottom of the guest house where you'll be staying. Now, this guy hasn't got a single tattoo on his body. His whole family, they don't have tattoos. Like my cousin has a few little ones, but that's it. Anyway, I went down into this where I was staying, and there's a big, huge, like half the walls, just like a big painting of Freddie Corbin. I said, I was just working with him on the weekend. I said, isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
it's mad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, what a guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
what an expo.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It was so good to see you guys there, and it was so good to see you guys in Perth as well. Like, yeah, we came out all this way to like do this new expo and see you guys and get you on the podcast as well. This was really important to us as
Thanks
well.
for the invite,
Yeah,
guys.
nah.
Thank you.
Because like, yeah, I'd love to, hear a little bit about like your start. Like where you started over in America, didn't you?
I did. I went out to work in the States in 2000. I was a school teacher before I was a tattooer.
Really?
Yes. So I went out there. It was like Dangerous Minds teaching some of the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went out there 2000 just teaching. Had tattoos at that point. It was a very, very stressful job. I'd taken a job pretty much that no other American teacher wanted.
Oh, really?
Kids from really poor backgrounds had been,
Sure.
expelled from every school they'd been to before they were 8, maybe. So they were a tough crowd. So I actually started getting tattooed. I'd had tattoos for rebellious reasons when I was younger, but now I started getting tattooed then for stress relief.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure.
Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, today was hard. What's going to make me feel better? I'm
Yeah.
going to go get a tattoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Whereabouts in the States was this?
So that was Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
And from getting tattooed at that studio is how I got my apprenticeship at that studio.
Wow.
So to me, it was that kind of little tattoo god's fate kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Initially, I would take my design. I feel so bad now because I would just take my designs that I'd drawn and be like, "Can you tattoo this on me?" And Leah, they were like, "Great." They were like, "Yeah, sure. It's good. Like we can do that." And I'm like, "Well, my husband Nigel, he needs this cover up, and I've drawn this tribal. Bear in mind this is 2001."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, it flows with the body. Sure, I can tattoo that on." And we got on really, really well. They had a lovely little studio, just them in there. Their mother owned the studio originally, so that would be going back some. So that was kind of quite unusual. to have them there. Yeah, and we just hit it off. And they said, well, you can draw. You know, have you ever thought about tattooing or learning to tattoo? And I was like, no, I'm a school teacher. That's not, you know, it's not kind of what I do, you know. But I just really loved still that rebellious nature of it. It was kind of like, well, I can be like this Miss, you know, tattooer by teacher by day, tattooer by night. It was fantastic. So it kind of got me through my second year of teaching in the States because I just learned to tattoo at night.
It's awesome.
Their name was Leah Smith, fantastic artist. They said, pretty much I've got a year. I'm going to go back to art school. You've got another couple of years left on your visa. You know, if you want to come hang out, I can teach you to tattoo. Back then we were, you know, taught to make needles. Pretty old school apprenticeship, but a respectful mentor-mentee relationship with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
This season of Rats Get Fat is brought to you by the Tattoo Flash, a 35mm disposable camera made for tattooers by a tattooer. Born from the minds of studio owners and lifelong friends, Jake Straat and Aaron Etham, the Tattoo Flash blends old-school tattoo culture with the timeless feel of film photography. Whether you're snapping shots in black and white or color, every frame captures real moments with raw nostalgia. In a world full of digital noise, the Tattoo Flash is a throwback to something real, grainy, unpredictable, and full of soul. It's not just a film camera, it's a time capsule. Pick one up, shoot a roll, and relive the magic. Visit thetattooFlash.com to grab yours today. Huge thanks to the Tattoo Flash for supporting the show. Now, back to the episode.
Especially like, I don't know, you being, because how long were you over there beforehand? It was like the second year, you said?
Yeah, so I've been in the States for a year. I actually started learning to tattoo maybe a couple of months after 9/11.
Oh,
so that was
really?
2001. So a lot of people who came over on the teaching kind of exchange left at that point, left the States because it was pretty devastating.
Yeah,
We're still working in the school system, and then there was after the Twin Towers, then there were a lot of like anthrax scares, you know, a lot of terrorism, a lot of more racism, more hatred. But I really, really kind of liked it there. And I'd made good relationships with people. And I'd also, you know, made this great relationship with this tattooer who was going to give me this opportunity to do something completely different and actually gave me everything, gave me a new life. Totally, totally grateful forever. We still keep in touch.
That's nice.
Owe them everything.
You went from dealing with like naughty children to like probably like when people get tattooed, they're so polite and friendly because they don't want you to hurt them more or charge them more. So
Well, I don't know.
okay.
Back in the day, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe being a female in the industry back then
Okay.
played a bit of a difference. But like you said, my background in kind of dealing with naughty children and behavior strategies and stuff like that really, really helped. I was like, this is my spot.
Yeah.
And I would actually say that to the kids as well. I'm like, this is my room. Like, you know, you touch me, it's on. You're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you never have to say that to, you know, children usually. But there was like, you got to protect yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So the same kind of thing happened with tattooing, you know.
Yes.
The studio that I learnt to tattoo at was this tiny little house, kind of front room was the waiting room, full of Sailor Jerry, Cherry Creek,
Epic.
amazing flash. Even though it was kind of a custom studio, because Leah was very, very creative, very artistic. But the neighborhood, I guess, you know, back then as well, we liked flash. It was very sellable. But the studio was actually next door to a brothel.
Really?
And we shared the same car park. So sometimes the tattoo studio looked very, very full, but it actually wasn't. It was just guys next door.
Okay.
But, you know, they would come in and kind of maybe get a tat because they thought, you know, they need to take it home and show their missus that they were at the tat shop.
That's why I was there.
Yeah.
Rather than next door.
That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess dealing with people, myself, I'll just jump forward a little bit, but yeah, my first job was in Florida, maybe 30 minutes north of Orlando. It was a country area. It was slightly redneck, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a lot of loose cannons.
Okay.
The studio was kind of just in a strip mall, just, you know, not really in a town.
Yeah.
Just on the side of the street that had like a liquor store and that kind of thing. So the kind of clientele, they kind of needed a little bit of handling, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
What made you go from North Carolina to Florida?
Well, basically to get a job. I
Okay.
think. Yeah. So Leah told me they have, 1 year to train me. During that time, I tattooed my husband a lot. I tattooed a lot of Leah's friends.
Yeah.
Some flash pieces there. And then this was before you could apply for a job on the internet. I don't even really know how I got my first job. Maybe it was in the back of a magazine.
Okay.
And they were advertising for tattooers. So I put this bullshit little portfolio together that maybe had like 3 color pieces, 2 outlines, and a map of the world. I don't know. Sent it off in the mail
Okay.
and just kind of waited. Sent out to a few different places. And afterwards, after I'd got the job, Leah was like, I probably could have got you like a better job than that. I was just like, because I did it off my own back. I was like, I'm going to be really proactive and try and find myself a job. And I got it.
Do you reckon there was a difference in the tattoos that you were doing in North Carolina, like what you were getting asked for? Obviously, you were tattooing Nigel heaps, you were tattooing Leah's friends heaps. So they're like probably going to be more open-ended to like choosing what you want to get done. Now, moving to Florida where like no clientele, no one really knows, there's no internet, so they can't look at your
No.
tats. Were they asking for different shit or like, because it was a bit redneck, was it, what they were wanting tattooed was like a little bit like different to what you would normally
Yeah.
be tattooing?
Yeah, it was 50-50 actually, because the good side of it was outside naval base, a boot camp. So I did a lot of USMC, Sailor Jerry, tats.
Sick.
Fantastic. I think that's where my love of traditional comes from.
Rad.
Yeah.
Just these guys straight off boot camp hadn't had a Coca-Cola for, 12 weeks.
Ugh.
And they were straight out. They were like, hoo-ah,
Yeah.
give me an eagle, give me an anchor. Brilliant.
Dope.
Oh,
Yeah. Other side of the coin, kind of, yeah. One guy said that he wanted to get a tattoo of his pet rooster. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm at this stage, I'm just tattooing everything. I'll
Yeah.
attempt a portrait, or maybe I can do a cartoon version. He bought the bloody rooster in a cage into the tattoo shop. And was like, well, here he is. And I'm like, well, he's fucking moving. Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to do?
A live sketch.
A live sketch. And I was like, you could probably just bring me a photograph and maybe we'll work from that.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I thought you meant he brought it in to tattoo the rooster.
Oh, no.
He's like, can you
Well,
put a tattoo
maybe.
on my rooster? I want you to put my face on him, and then I'll get him on me. Imagine that.
Maybe.
It's like, dude, I think that's animal cruelty, bro.
Yeah, well, talk about animal cruelty, because it was that small kind of town. There was word that there was this new tattooer in town. So I
Yeah.
kind of got, not famous, but I got known quite quickly. Someone stopped me, came in the Walmart parking lot, rolled down his window and was like, oi, I can't do the American accent, I'm not even going to try. Can you tattoo a picture of my pet? And I'm like, sure, I can do whatever you want. He pulled out a full folder of pictures of his tiger in a cage wearing a Christmas hat. And then he's so proud of it. He's like, look at these tigers. And I'm like, man, you have these at your house.
Some Tiger King shit. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. So,
Holy.
yeah. During that time, we lived on a trailer park.
Okay.
Sick.
That's
Yeah.
very Florida of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
nowhere else to live. It was Jerry Springer.
Hell
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm so into that. I would also do that.
Yeah.
Just to say that I've done it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was a while. I think I stayed at that. Well, they had about 3 shops. So during that time, I worked at all of the shops. Yeah, so we were probably there for about 6 to 8 months, I think.
Yeah.
I was just winging it, man. I just didn't really know. It was sink or swim. I was like, I love this world so much
Yeah.
that I'm going to do whatever I can to make this work out.
Yes.
I remember the first tattoo I did in there was on this big Mexican gangster. They had all the low riders, all the hydraulics popping it out in the car park. And the shop was open, I think probably 12 till 12. But it was like whatever time that black customer comes in, you're doing it. So
Got to do it.
got to do it. So I think they rocked in maybe 11 o'clock. He needed a full tribal armband cover up. What? Drew it on. The boss was like, well, how long's that going to take you? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. I think it took me 4 frigging hours. Was still there at 3 a.m.
Holy.
trying to color this thing in. And the boss back then, he was like, try this tattoo machine It's called the hammer. I made it. And I'm just like, okay. At this point, I'm covering everything in with a 14 RS. I'm just like rounding it. Never used a mag. Started coloring the thing in. I was like, oh, this is going in like butter. This looks pretty solid. I'd already done the outline with my own machine. Guy came back like 2 weeks later, gray as hell, all the cover up showing through. I mean, that hammer was a piece of shit.
This season of Rats Get Fat podcast is proudly sponsored by the good guys at Good Guys Supply. Since 2006, this Canadian crew of dedicated tattoo professionals has been raising the bar. Obsessed with the craft, every detail, and every tool they put their name on. They're all about quality, function, and keeping their gear affordable for artists across the globe. North or south of the equator, if you're tattooing, Good Guys Supply has your back. Massive thanks to Natalie, Rob, Lucas, and the rest of the Good Guys Supply family for supporting the show. Now, back to the episode.
Oh no.
And then I was like, I need to try mags. Like, what am I doing?
It's crazy.
Yeah, mags.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting because like Australia was a round shader country. Like all the old guys used to just use round shaders. And we got the mags from the Americans. We got the idea of mags from the Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it was because I couldn't make them very well. Because we made our needles back then. So
Yeah.
I could group round shaders. I could group liners. That was okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making those mags, fiddly as fuck.
Yeah,
So,
super
so
fiddly.
I was, and in a busy shop then, it was kind of like, oh, I'll just keep with the rounds. I can bang those out after my shifts. I mean, shifts back then, if they were 12 hours and then you had to do all your own everything, make your needles,
Yes.
sterilize them, you're working 14 hours a day, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal. Eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's good, like the convenience of stuff being now prepackaged and bought from overseas. Like it does save us a lot of time.
And I could have seen the progression because it was make your own needles at the end of the shift, take the needles off the bar, scrub the bar, sterilize the bar. So the next day you've got clean bars.
Yeah.
Bent all to hell, mind, because you've bent them a million times. They're probably nothing's, solid in there anymore. It's been bent back and forward so many times.
Yeah.
But then it got so that we could buy the heads.
Okay.
So they weren't sterilized, but the heads would come as a pack.
Okay.
So then you'd still save the bars.
Okay.
But you just had then I could get mags. I was like, okay, these buggers are already made.
Yeah.
I'll put those on my bars.
Sick.
So we did that, and then obviously it came that you could buy the whole thing on a bar. Pre-made, pre-sterile.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
And now I'm on cartridges.
Yeah.
What a ride.
Yeah. What a transition. That's crazy.
The cartridges are it's a crazy concept. I've got loads of them. I've got a cartridge system, but I still love like how rigid and like the feedback of a bar.
Yeah, there is nothing like that. Yeah.
It's unreal. Hey,
Yeah, I think I've used cartridges maybe once or twice, and
you love
Not a
it.
fan.
I got halfway through the tattoo. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, get rid of it.
A bar.
But in saying that, you were using like a heavy hitting Dan Cuban machine.
Yeah. You have to set them up a specific way to actually use a cartridge.
Yeah.
I think at the years of tattooing with stainless steel tips as well, like some before we knew any better, I think some of the grooves from my mags in the bottom of those mag tips,
Oh, yes.
like those needles just sat so well in there because there was just guidelines because they'd worn through the stainless steel that much
Holy.
So
that they
good.
would sit super tight. There was no rattle on those
Damn.
babies.
Super precise.
Yeah.
What made you kind of step into the world of like the newer like cartridge system and because what even machine are you using right now?
Oh, look, I'll tell you actually what happened was my carpal tunnel. I had carpal tunnel really, really bad about 8 years ago, maybe 9, to the point where at the end of shift, I couldn't open the door to kind of get out.
Oh shit.
But rotaries weren't really a thing then. So I tried coils with aluminium frames, rubbish, rattling all over the place.
Yes.
And then I kind of changed to rotaries, I guess. And even they were really, really good for a while. But then I had to have carpal tunnel surgery.
Okay.
Came back, carried on doing the same thing. Obviously took a bit of a break to recover. But found the same thing was just happening again. My fingers were starting to go numb again. Had the test done again. They were like, look, your carpal tunnel's coming back. Like, you're literally doing the same thing that we've told you not to do. And I'm like, well, I'm going to carry on tattooing because it's like that my passion. My life. I don't want to stop that.
Yeah.
So I'm actually on a bishop pen.
Sick. I think when you tattooed me, it was on a bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very, I don't know, it was quite a comfortable tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's nothing like the core. The Rollermatic using for lining was just the sweetest thing ever. And then I tried to change to a mini Rolo. I was just trying to do anything I could to like cling on to it.
Yes.
I think I've always been a bit like that because I'm a little bit older and a bit more traditional. Even when, people kind of started getting, well, it wasn't even the iPad, it was the Wacom.
Yes.
People had those for a couple of years, and I was like, I'm never going to use that. I'm never going to use that. And then when I did use it, I was like, actually, it's not a bad tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe this could save my hands a little bit. So it's all really been about prolonging my career with my hands,
For sure.
Sure.
rather than a choice.
Sure.
It's been a choice, but it's been a choice for a medical
Yeah.
reason, I guess.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like we all want to tattoo till our 70s or late 60s or whatever, till we can retire.
Yeah.
And, I guess, without your hands, like you can't do
Don't
tats.
do too much, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
can be pretty rough on your body as well
Yeah.
if you treat yourself badly, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're not stretching or exercising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake's rolling his eyes there. It's like, is
Yeah.
it me? He's talking about
definitely me.
I'm talking about myself, really.
No, it's true. But it is true. It's when you're actually tattooing, you completely forget about all those things. I think about sit up straight and do this and take a break, and you're just in the moment. It's
Yeah, you hyper focus.
Yeah.
Everything gets blocked out, and then before you know it, 4 hours has passed by.
and you try and stand up, and your spine, you have to
Yeah.
go vertebrae by vertebrae, so you can stand up again.
But it's interesting because, like, you also don't want to disservice your client.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we
100%.
all have been tattooed. We all know how much it hurts.
Yep.
So it's like, I've been personally tattooed by people that take a million breaks. They're like, oh, just going for a cigarette every hour. I'm just like, bro, I hate this guy so much. Because by the time you get back into it, it hurts way
It
more.
hurts way more.
Yeah.
So, like, I will just, like, put myself through the fucking motions and, like, get deep in the fucking tat zone just to get the client in and out.
Yeah.
So they can have their tattoo done clean, painlessly, or, as painlessly as possible. And you know what I mean? And then, but then also with that mindset, like, you're not putting your health first.
No, you're punishing yourself.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But your customer does get a better experience, I think.
Yes.
If you don't take so many breaks.
Yeah, it's tricky walking that line between looking after yourself and looking after
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I think like we've found kind of ways around like the pain side of things. You can spray them down with like Soothe or something to kind of take the edge off when you do get back into it.
Yeah, and I've that's definitely something I've started doing in the last maybe 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Is if I'm going to take a break, or they do want a break, is actually just giving them a Bactine squirt and a wrap up and say, well, you're going to take a break anyway, so maybe this will help you when you come back from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good for them as well to stretch as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
getting tattooed, like the tattoo itself doesn't really hurt, but
It's
like
with how you've
sitting
got to
there.
sit. Anything on the side, man, and you're all just kind of twisted your hips out. And you can see people after a while really need a squirm. I usually just say, look, there's going to be natural breaks as we go through the tattoo. Once the outline's finished, when the black's finished, when the color's finished, we're done. But if you feel like you need to break before that happens, you just tell me and we'll stop.
Yeah, I was tattooing this bloke's neck, Jimmy, on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Good on you, Jimmy. Sat like a rock. But he found that like it was just lying. The way he was lying was more painful.
Yeah.
And it's now one of those situations. I think I got to the end and I was just completely
And he kept-
sideways.
Yeah, you like
Kept
lying
giggling. I was like
top of him.
laughing.
Yeah.
He was like having a great time at the
Dude.
expo. I said, who gets a tattoo done at an expo, bro? I
Who
said,
gets
"That's
their
so
neck
crazy."
done is sitting there going,
Yeah, he was laughing. I was like making all those stupid jokes
yeah.
to him, and he's just like, getting his neck pumped.
That's probably because Zuzzy's giving him a massive hug from behind.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Just like all up in his
It
neck.
was weird. It was weird.
It was fun. It was fun though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Couldn't believe
super,
it.
super tricky. And yeah, you definitely feel it after those sessions. Yeah, especially when if you're doing someone's side or something like that, you're just standing up and like over them.
Yeah,
It's,
and you do for a while. You tend to go with them until you realize that you're all both just kind of off the other side of the bed, and you're like, oh, maybe we need to bring it back a bit.
yeah. So
But you
tricky.
do. I kind of do the same thing. I kind of follow them over
forget-
until I realize I'm like bent double, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe
Yeah.
we need to straighten up a bit.
You forget you can get them to move closer to you.
Yeah,
They should make a tattoo bed that's got like a base and like a flat bed. And what you do, you almost like strap them in like politely, like with like some like nice soft straps. And then, but the bed can then go up and then go vertical like that. And so you could spin them like upside down and shit and like all the way around, like a full 360-degree experience.
Yeah.
And then like you could literally put them wherever and then just sit there
Just do
and
it.
tattoo comfortably and just spin the bed and it'll just be like,
yeah. That was one thing during my apprenticeship that Leah would say. She'd be like, put this tracing paper down, trace this picture. Do not move that tracing paper. You move yourself around that tracing paper to get that traced. She said, because you may find yourself working in a situation where you can't move them at a tattoo convention, everything's kind of wrong.
yes.
You need to find your angles of how you're going to draw those lines
Yeah.
with that still.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
That is a very
yeah.
interesting way.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because you've got to move yourself into like the right position. Sometimes when you're pulling a long line, like you
Yeah.
can't be like pulling it
Yeah, you need
where
to
it's
be
uncomfortable.
Yeah, you need to be the other way around, but sometimes you can't get your customer,
Yeah.
into that position to do it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's going to be cool to see like in the next 10 to 15 years, like where the tat technology goes.
Yeah.
Where like someone's probably going to take my great idea about the 360 tat bed.
Yeah.
I should patent it now actually before this episode's released.
Yeah. The tattoo coaster. You're like,
And you're just like, yeah, that'd be sick. Imagine flipping someone, like standing them up like that. So they're like heads up here and their legs are down here. And then you spin it a full 180 degrees. So their head's down. And then you can tattoo their calf and you can stand up and just tattoo their calf.
dude, it'd be so good.
And they'll be like laying upside down.
We always talk
Actually, that's
about
horrible.
how much easier it would be if they could just leave their limb with you.
Yeah, but would
And
you
like-
trust a tattooer with your limb? I would not. I talk about that all the time. I'm like, you'd get the wrong tat back if you got the leg back at all.
Yes.
100%.
If like maybe if you come back the same day, if it's overnight, you're done.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
limbless.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah,
Yo, where's my arm?
Yeah.
What arm? I don't
Yeah.
know you.
Whoop. One
Yep.
sec.
that's the sound of East Vic Park.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
that's East Vic Park.
That's nice.
I forgot that we were out in WA. Yeah, it's dangerous out here.
Hell yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the Wild West.
It is the Wild West.
It was a little bit the Wild West when I got here.
Really?
I feel like it was.
So, okay. So you were in North. What made you move to America?
Yeah, okay. Well, so there was a bit of a story in between that, I guess. I only had a 3-year visa to stay in the States. So, yeah, first year teaching, second year teaching tattooing, third year tattooing traveling.
Okay.
Fantastic. Hit as many tattoo conventions as I could, got tattooed at them, tried to meet as many tattooers as I could before I had to leave. Tried to get a lawyer to let me stay. And they were like, no, you're not staying as tattooing. We've got enough of those. Go home. So I had to go home, which is South Wales.
Okay.
South Wales. My Welsh things come straight back out.
Sick.
Back to South Wales. I mean, I'd obviously left South Wales for a reason. My family's there. I miss them dearly, but I don't miss the place that I grew up.
Sure.
So really it was a case of, well, where else can I go? So I didn't stay in South Wales, but I had to get a visa to come here, obviously. The choice of why Australia was really where will have me.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, probably Europe would have had me, but my language skills were not great. My English is, it's passable. So I got a job in the West Midlands, which is kind of middle of England, I guess. And I got that job while I was still in Florida. I did manage to get that off the internet because there were these kind of discussion groups kind of coming up on tattoo pages, where people would start advertising that they had jobs available.
Okay.
But I'd never tattooed in the UK. I'd obviously got tattooed in the UK at 18, until I left to go to the States. But I didn't really have a clue of tattoo culture in the UK at all. So I pretty much just took the first job that was offered. It was about 2 hours away from where I grew up. And me and Nige moved up there. It was just outside Birmingham in a place called Warsaw. It was I'm going to offend some people now, but it was
Let it
it was
rip.
the West Midlands kind of version of where I'd been tattooing in Florida. So I'm
Okay.
following a pattern here, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never liked the easy things in life. You know?
Yeah. The
I've always felt I fitted in somewhere it's a little bit rougher. Than,
Yes.
you know. And the same when I was teaching. You know, I would teach underprivileged kids, kind of kids who needed some help. You know, so I've
Yeah.
always like been up for a challenge. So yeah, me and Nigel moved up there. The studio back then, gosh, I don't even know. That would have been 3 years. That would have been 2003, 2003, because I emigrated here in 2004. So we got there, smoky little, like there was smoking in the tattoo studio. There was a pool table out the front, guys hanging out there, smoking, playing pool, and the tattoo rooms were at the back.
No way.
Yeah. So the owner who has since passed away. So I would condolences for that. But you know, I'm grateful because it did give me a base and a start again in the UK.
Yeah.
But it was just something to grow from, really, a stopgap. The name of the studio, it just doesn't matter. But halfway through the time I worked there, which was probably for about 8 months, changed its logo, and I thought, well, this is a Celtic cross, whatever.
Oh no!
Turned out it's white power.
Oh, shit.
No,
Yes.
that's unreal.
Yes. And the kind of then I could just feel the ethos of the studio, still same owner, but it kind of changed. But at that time I was working with some younger guys in there.
Yeah.
So we were trying to bounce tattoo ideas off each other in this crazy situation. Do you know what I mean? So it was like this kind of ownership and thing going on. But at the same time, we're in there trying to just tat. But I mean, it was a poor area. People were coming in trying to pay for food, tattoos with food stamps.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. So I got out of there pretty quickly after that happened.
Got to.
Yeah. And so the reason why I was there was because I was waiting for the visa to come out here, basically.
Okay.
But where me and Nigel lived also was pretty rough. We we moved into this apartment block, I think it was maybe 3 stories. The day that we moved in, the woman, she was underneath us. She was like, "I'm a witch." And she's like, literally, "I'm a witch. So don't fuck around up there. Otherwise I'm hexing you." And me and Nigel just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I think we'd been there maybe a month. Nigel had like the tires, wheels stolen off his car.
No way.
And then one night I was like, it's pretty bright out there. It's like 2 a.m. The bin shed was on fire because the local prostitutes had put their cigarette butts in the bins, and the whole shed was on fire, and the flames were licking up through past our apartment window. It was time to get out of there.
Yeah, holy, I'll say.
So we lasted about 6 to 8 months in that town.
That's crazy.
Hey, legends, it's the Rats Get Fat podcast, and we've got some exciting news. Our brand new merch store is officially live. We've loaded it up with heaps of killer products, all handmade with love, and ready for you to rep the show in style. Every purchase goes a long way in supporting the podcast, and we honestly can't thank you enough for the support you've already shown us. We're kicking off the new season with some awesome gear we know you'll love, so jump on it now. The link's in our bio. Go check it out, grab your favorites, and keep the Rats Get Fat family rolling. Let's go.
And then what? You guys moved out into Western Australia?
Yeah. So a friend of Nigel's, or there was some connection where we had a couple who were kind of willing to put us up when we came out. The thought was I would just come to Perth, maybe do some guest spots. I actually had a guest spot lined up with Noel at the tat shop.
Oh, really? Shout out to Noel and Sue.
But unfortunately, when I got here, there just wasn't enough work at that, whenever I got here at that time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he recommended a couple of other studios that I could approach. And yeah, I was just thinking probably a guest spot. Kind of didn't get the jobs because I was a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was so I kind of questioned kind of what I'd done at that point. I'd probably only been here a week or two, and I couldn't get a job.
Yeah.
And that really in the States and the UK hadn't been an issue up till that point.
Okay.
And then I did get a job, and then from then it was it was plain sailing. I got a job based on my portfolio and my skills, as it should be.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and went on to be pretty booked up at that studio. I think at one point I had maybe a year waiting list.
Holy.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, so
No way.
I did have a few offers back from the studios that had said no.
Yeah.
Would I like to come and work there?
Too
So,
late.
no, thank you. No,
That's
thanks.
that's
Yeah.
not on, eh?
No. But ultimately, I wasn't happy at that studio. And I really hadn't planned on staying in Perth either. So me and Nige kind of went over east, had a little look around. Kind of quite fancied living in Brizzy at the time.
Yes.
But coming from Florida with the humidity and the heat.
Yes.
And wearing glasses sucks when it's
100%.
humid, when you're kind of coming in and out of aircon all the time. So we went over there in I think maybe June, July, and it was still hot then, but humid hot.
To Brisbane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I must have had a straight. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Coolangatta. Maybe I came over a little bit further up. But anyway, it still felt warm and it still felt a bit kind of muggy. And I was like, if this is what it's like in June, July, shit, can you imagine like December, January? So, well, I was like, maybe not as a city. That's kind of not for me. So I went to Melbourne, asked around a few tattoo studios in Melbourne. And the best ever advice was given to me by Trevor McStay, shout out. He was kind of known at the time that if you kind of went in and treated him respectfully, he might critique your portfolio.
Okay.
And give you some pointers, but you don't really know what you're going to get
Yeah.
from that critique. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And my husband's like, Susie, just do it. We'll go in there anyway. We'll ask around a couple of shops, see, Chapel at the time and now still have a really good relationship with those guys and guested there. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And we just went into Trev's shop and sat in the front waiting room for hours. Didn't bother anybody. Just kind of said, I'm here, just having a little look around, kind of trying to build up the courage. Trev was at the back of the beautiful shop tattooing. I was like, I'm just going to wait till he finishes. And then when he finishes, he probably thought, what is that mad woman sat out there for so long? Is she stalking the shop or something? So when he did and his customer was gone, it was kind of approaching lunchtime. I was like, look, I'm from Perth. I'm Susie. I've been here for maybe a year and a half. Just need some advice. Like, I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm okay with my tattoos, but I was in this strange kind of color bomb traditional. I didn't really know where I was going with it.
Yeah.
I said, I've heard that you'll have a look at portfolios. And he's like, yeah, sure. So I maybe had 20 photographs in there and I'm just sat there sweating and he's kind of flicking through. And he's like, Susie, needs more black. And I was like, okay. And he's like, just needs more black. Do you want to go for lunch? Took me for lunch. Took me and Nigel for lunch. Super nice guy. And so at lunch, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Where's my career going? And he's like, well, from what I can see, you're in Perth. I think you're maybe at that time there was 5 female tattooers.
Yeah.
And people really, really did want to get tattooed. It wasn't the lack of work that I was kind of off. It was my environment, I guess. It was a bit kind of volatile.
Yeah.
Just not happy. Didn't feel safe there. And I said, should I come to Melbourne? And he's like, there's so many tattooers in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like, ride the wave of the popularity of tattooing in Perth. Move studios, open a studio, do whatever you need to do. Just change location, put more black.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Okay.
And then, moved down to Holdfast.
Damn, thanks, Trevor.
Well, I know. Thanks, Trev.
That was like
He probably doesn't even know that.
Yeah.
But I owe him like a lot for my career in Australia.
Wow.
Thanks, Trev.
yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it's, you've been able to then, out here, it is busy. There are a lot of people who want to get tattooed. They probably don't have much to spend their money on in Western Australia. It seems a little bit isolated. Every time I've ever come out here, it's been balls to the wall with tats. And it's sick. It's so sick out here. Like, I think it's starting to get really popular with tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, Fremantle has a lot of shops, and like, I'm sure Perth has a lot of shops as well. And a lot of people want to get into it and get into tattooing, but you came into it at the right exact time and you've made this and you've cemented yourself here and you fucking killed it.
I think, thank you.
Yeah.
But I think staying in the one spot has really helped me. I still have people that I've tattooed 18 years ago.
Yes.
They come back every year for a tat. How fantastic. So
cool.
I've got such good relationships with a lot of my clients. And I feel bad calling them clients because I know that their life so well.
Yeah.
That when they come in, I'm like, well, how's the kids? How's your dog? What's been happening? Where do you go on holiday? It's fantastic. And they're just such genuine people that, I think staying in the same spot has really, really worked for me.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
That kind of stability.
Yeah. And also, being a little bit older, I'd done a lot of traveling before me and Nige moved to, here. We'd been on the road for a long, long time, living in the States, back in the UK, travel around Asia. So when we did arrive here and we were like, we'll do a guest spot here, and then we'll go here, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do this. And then we're like, do we have to do all that? Like, we've just been on the road for 10 years. Should we just stop?
Yes.
And I'm like, we could stop, right? So we just stopped. We got a dog, put down roots.
Sick.
And then, just started building up a client base. And I've been so fortunate because although I do have a lot of regulars, I'm still getting new clients.
Yes.
Which is great. And I get people who I'm their main tattooer, but they don't live here. So I have a guy, in Melbourne who's my regular. So he'll come over here. He flew down to Sydney to get tattooed by me at the tattoo convention. What a guy.
That's so cool.
And I have, people in the UK who I'm their main tattooer. So when they come here every year, they get tattooed. That's mad to me.
Yeah.
It's insane. Well, it's a compliment and it speaks volumes.
100%.
About your client experience, your tats, and your attitude when it comes to tats and like everything. It's sick.
Yeah.
To the fact that, I traveled over from Cairns to, I didn't know anything about Perth except for like this shop and you and your reputation.
Which to me, that's a huge surprise and honor. I just can't, I don't see myself like that. So when you did actually say, I just want to come to Holdfast and I want to see you, I'm just like, what? Okay.
Yes.
Why? Okay.
Punk rock.
Yeah.
Punk rock tatters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool. It was nice. I had a really great week here a few years ago.
Yeah.
And did some work. I didn't have the greatest time in Western Australia, to be honest, due to the fact of like anyone who's been to Western Australia, like it's very rough. There's a lot of like drug use. There's a lot of like, it seems it's pretty sad actually. There's a lot of like really like there's a lot of street people and a lot of like drug-addled people, and I don't know. I had a hard time dealing with them. I don't deal well with them, and so I actually kind of went back east, and I thought, I'm not going to really go to Western Australia much. And I had a few people flying over to Cairns to get tattooed from Western Australia, and they said, "When are you coming back?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Probably never, man."
Yeah.
Like,
and I think you probably hit the pockets of the bad stuff. Well, not the bad stuff, but you just
Bad luck.
everything for the week that could have gone wrong for you probably went wrong.
yes,
You
it's really funny because all these tattooers have listened to the podcast and they all said, "Did you get mugged this time?" I said, "No, I didn't get mugged." I said, "But I am going to Fremantle in a couple of days, so we'll see."
Crazy.
But yeah. Anyway, but it's so like refreshing. This trip, we got invited to the West Oz Tattoo Expo, and me and Zuzz, I said, "I'm going to give it another go," and came out. We've had the greatest time.
Yeah.
And sure, there are some rough street people and people about, but we've had no issue.
No.
Except for actually, I got grabbed.
Yeah.
A lady grabbed me at like 7 a.m. When was it, Zuzz? Was that yesterday morning?
Yeah, it was yesterday morning, just outside the hostel we're staying at.
And this lady was yelling to herself and flailing her arms and walking past us, and then looked at me and just grabbed my arm. And I was like, "Ah!" and like pulled my arm back. I was like, "Oh my God." And Zuzz said to me, he goes, "Dude, you just got touched by the witch." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude." And then, this is going to sound horrible, but we went into a cafe to get some breakfast and a coffee. And the lady, how I was dressed for the convention. I had all these holes in my shirt and like I was a bit like, I don't know. I dressed like a fucking tattooer. And she looked at me like I was one of those people. And she was like this. She's like, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Oh, just like a coffee, thanks." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "Oh, just get a large cappuccino, thanks." And then she like clicked. She's like, "Oh shit, this guy's a customer." and I said to Zuzz, I'm like, "Dude, she just looked at me and thought I was like one of those crazy street people."
Maybe
and he's
that's
like,
why they keep coming up to you. They're like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
found their like
One of
kindred
us.
spirit. Yeah, they're like, there's one of us.
but Zuzz said to me, he goes, "When she touched you, she actually passed that now on to you."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the next thing that happened to you was that.
It's like tag.
People will see me as like now I'm straight edge. I don't do drugs, but they'll see me as some drug-addled man
Yeah.
on the street. They'll say, "Oh fuck, stay away from him."
passed
Look
the
at him
homeless
flailing his
curse.
arms. She passed the curse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Anyway, yeah. But
WA, hey.
man, we're gonna come back next year for sure for this West Oz Expo again.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
Wasn't it just great? Yeah.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah,
Everything I wanted it to be, I think.
yeah.
It was insane. Like all the dragons and the food dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't that weird, eh? I loved it.
Never had that at a convention before. It was so cool.
The,
Now,
the
Zuzz.
dragon came down the aisle and we all kind of had to run back into the space because we're like, it's coming.
It's coming. The dragon's
We're like,
coming.
oh shit.
Now, I'm actually going to dob Zuzz in here.
Yeah.
Now, they gave us these like little red cards to feed the food dog. So the food dog would open its mouth at you and you would you'd put a red card in its mouth and you would get good luck from it. Now, we get back to the accommodation and Zuzzy unzips his bag and he pulls out one of the red envelopes and this like golden sigil on it and he places it down. I was like, dude, you were meant to feed that to a fucking food dog, man. You can't fucking take that. I said, that's bad luck. And he's like, what? I said, dude, it's total bad luck to take the good luck charm.
No.
Zuzzy stole
No,
the
I
good luck
didn't.
charm.
It was in my bag by the time the food dog came around and it tried to eat me.
Yes, because it knew.
Yeah.
It knew
Yeah.
what you were holding
I
and
couldn't
hiding.
scramble to my bag and feed it the red good luck charm.
Did you get one of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know.
You turned one away. I think that's even worse.
Oh.
Well, they offered it to me, but I feel like I've actually got really good luck in life in general. And I said, no, thank
Someone
you.
else will need it more.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't want to like two positives make a negative. Like take more good luck because it would then turn my luck.
I don't believe in that shit. You've tried to put a pirate curse on me and that didn't work.
You know, you're both going back home cursed. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You came to WA and you're cursed.
Well, I've got the witch grabbed me.
Yeah.
So I'm
and you've got the food dog bad
Yeah.
energy.
yeah.
He put a black spot on me.
Yeah, you know, like the pirate curse, the black spot.
Yeah, he tattooed one of them on me to try and curse me and it didn't do shit.
Because those listening now, back in the 1700s, if a pirate cursed you to die, they would give you a piece of paper with a black spot on it. That's what they would give you, the black spot, and it was this feared thing. If a pirate gave it to you, yeah, it was bad news. Anyway, I thought it was funny because I see myself as like a little bit. I live like a pirate somewhat. I don't really like water very much, but I live a pirate's life, and so I asked Zuzzy if he would like me to, you know, put a pirate curse on him and curse him
Yeah.
just to see what would happen, and he okayed it.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I accepted it willingly.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
So he put this big black dot just on his leg.
Yeah.
Zuzzy is he's not cursed.
Yeah. The worst thing that happened is that I had a rough heel. That was it.
Yeah, it healed like shit.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, man.
I'm probably gonna cut this.
But yeah, you got the witch's grab.
Yep, the witch's grab,
Yeah.
and now people will perceive me as a deranged man.
Yeah.
But this lady genuinely looked at me like as soon as it happened, got grabbed. 5 minutes later, no word of a lie. Slave was just like, I've never had that before in my life. Go buy a coffee. I'm staying there like pleasantly smiling. And just
Yeah.
like, can I help you? As in like what are you doing here, man?
That happens all the time though. Well, like you're a magnet to crackheads. They just
I
think it's
am.
because you're so like eye catching. They spot you across the street and they're just like
They
Like
come.
a moth to a flame, you know?
They come at me.
Yeah.
And it's fucking nuts, man.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, we have a few street people around here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely noticed it. Jake was telling me a lot about it. And this is my first time to
Yeah.
Perth.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the cab ride from the airport, I think I spotted like a dozen.
Yeah. I mean, times that people are doing it really tough here as well.
Yes.
I mean, as they are everywhere. I did notice going to Sydney this time, I felt there were a lot more homeless around the town hall
Yeah.
this time than this time last year.
Yeah.
And I think times are pretty tough.
Yeah, especially in the bigger cities
Yeah.
where it's more expensive to
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
Like we have homeless in Cairns as well, and we have an issue with drug use there as well. But yeah, it's not as bad, I'd say, as like all of the places
Yeah.
down south.
Yeah.
But
It's-
yeah,
It's an interesting social dynamic, but yeah, I don't. It feels like Perth has like a big divide between like the rich and the poor. When like Cairns has like it's got poor people, it's got like it's got a full middle class, and then it's got like an upper class, and like it's way more like involved. But like Perth, obviously there's lots of mining and stuff, so there's like a big there's loads of rich people, but then like the lower socioeconomic people are like, oh well, I hate my life, so I'm gonna get on drugs.
Yeah.
a bit more polarized, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful part of the world. If you're ever out and about, definitely
gorgeous.
come and visit. And visit Holdfast Tattoo. This is the probably, the best shop around with
We've been here since about 2005, so we'll be coming up a 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
20
next
years.
year.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do a big flash day or something?
We should do something. I didn't come on board for a couple of years, so it's, wasn't mine at the beginning, but I'd like to think that I've put my stamp on it now.
Yes.
And you probably met Jodie, our shop manager,
Yes,
over the
of
weekend.
course.
So yeah, me and Jodes are kind of trying to get a nice vibe, a nice ethos going on in here.
Sick.
We've always had that kind of family kind of vibe, where everybody knows everybody. As you can see, the shop's totally open. There's a lot of banter. Like most of our customers say, you guys talk about the most ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
But they absolutely love it. They're like, nowhere else can you just talk about anything. And you switch subjects so much to the most random stuff. And you all know the most random shit.
It's the great thing about being in a tattoo shop. You have the best conversations and you hear the most random shit.
Yeah.
And it's cool being in a shop that's like, a bit more open and it's quite small as well.
Yeah.
It's like quite cozy, so everyone can have a conversation.
It is, and I
enjoy
love it when the customers start talking to each other across the room, because someone will say something and someone's listening in and they're like, oh yeah, that happened to me. And before everyone leaves, everyone's offering each other lollies and, it's like a big party in here before everyone finishes their tats.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll come back and they're like, oh, you were here 3 weeks ago on the same day that I got this. So, everyone kind of gets to know everyone pretty well.
Yeah, it's cool. We get a similar sort of thing in our shop in Cairns. You've been. It's also quite cozy in there too.
Same kind of layout, that kind of one room.
Yeah.
But you're a little bit more divided. But I love being in the same room as other tattooers.
Oh yeah. Makes it super fun.
Yeah.
It's like a little private convention every time you everyone's buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no greater feeling when in our shop when we've got 3 booths buzzing.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like, I'm talking and we're all yelling and listening to some crazy music and it's
super
sick.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fact that this shop, Holdfast, is it's a punk rock tattoo shop. So when I came, I was asked, I'm not too sure who asked me, but they were like, what album you want to listen to? And I was like, oh, damn. And so everyone picked an album for the day.
Yeah.
And I think I put on Propaganda, a Propaganda album anyway. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to hear. And everyone had an album and we all we just listened to them through and it was sick and it was all punk.
Yeah. Yeah. We like punk, hardcore, metal. It's that. There's nothing better, I think. When I was at the Sydney Tattoo Convention, I was tattooing away and I'd just been to Belgium, very fortunate, went to this big metal festival, Grasspop. And I saw one of my favorite bands, Graveyard, over there in this kind of small tent in the middle of this 100,000 people. And I was tattooing away in Sydney and this frigging song came on and I got goosebumps and I was like, I fucking love my life.
Oh.
It came on and I was just like, it was loud. Sydney music was loud, fantastic, mostly hardcore, mostly real fucking strong stuff. Loved it.
It was
I was
perfect.
just like, oh.
Do you think that kind of music influenced you into getting tattooed and then following through and getting a tattoo apprenticeship?
I think having that subculture, growing up in the 80s in the UK, subcultures were huge. You were either a punk or a skin. I think I kind of went between everything a little bit, to be honest. And probably the older I've got, the more I'm getting into kind of hardcore and metalcore. But yeah, definitely. I think I've just always carried that with me. And when I got my first tattoo, it was really just a rebellious thing. It was just kind of I'm getting tattooed. I mean, I'm rebellious, but I had to wait till I was 18, so it wasn't really that rebellious. It was kind of, I'm going to get tattooed on my 18th birthday. Fuck you.
What did you get?
I got a Celtic knot.
Yeah.
I traveled to get it by this guy called Dave Fleet, who was at the time national Welsh champion of tattooing. Tattoo conventions in Wales were wild back in I think that would have been, I was 18. I'm old now. So yeah, it would have been 30, 40 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I went there, picked it off the wall, put it on my foot so that my parents couldn't really, see it too much. Still looks fantastic. It's still there. I've never covered it up. It's not what I would get now, but never covered it up because it still looks great. And then I was addicted, man. I just went back week after week.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm stopped at that point because I was just getting ridiculous shit, which I've had lasered off and covered up and stuff over the years. But yeah, I think at that time I was feeling pretty rebellious. I think my first album when I was about 11 was Sex Pistols.
Sick.
Epic.
Yeah.
What better?
Yeah. So kind of just went through that through my childhood, really, dyed my hair, shave my hair off, just wore wild clothes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that if anybody asked or said, about Suzi, they would always be, she likes music, she likes cars, she likes soccer.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
you
yeah,
are.
she's kind of slightly punky.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I think they'll carry that through with me till I'm gone.
It's interesting that you called it soccer.
Well, because football, AFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. So whenever I talk to people who aren't British, I always say soccer.
Yeah.
But it's football.
Yeah, it's definitely football.
It's football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is football.
Because you're a Man City.
I am a Man City fan. Yeah. Also,
our friend Jai as well.
I know.
Yeah,
I was so excited to meet him. We
Yeah.
talk all the time over Instagram, and whenever the scores come up, even at the convention, we were kind of like, United lost, yes. And we'd both gone home. We were like, City 3-1, all good. Yeah, so it was really nice to meet him in person.
Yes, he's a good dude.
He's
eh?
a great dude. Yeah.
Yeah, we've worked together at a few conventions, me and him.
Yeah.
And he was out there last night on the boat ride.
Was he?
On the floating. We all went and did a floating barge
Floating raft.
Yeah.
Yeah, the raft.
Oh yeah.
as our after party.
That was
And
so funny.
me and Zuzz actually had a full day booked today of podcasting, and we wanted to be fresh, and we felt that it was really important for us to be fresh. So we
Yeah.
thought, you know what, we're actually not going to go to this after party. We're going to go smoke bomb the expo, not say bye to anyone, so we can just get out quick, go and have a nice steak, and then go to bed. And so as we were leaving the restaurant, we had a lovely steak and a great experience, and we were leaving the restaurant, and all the boys from the tat shop were walking literally 5 meters up the road, and there they are.
They spotted us.
And they said, all right, you're coming with us. And we
Yeah.
thought, oh, all right, then it was meant to be.
100%.
So we followed these guys, and we all hopped on the boat and went out to this floating raft that was in the middle of the water in Perth, and all the beautiful city lights. And Angus and Tess were lovely enough to put on a bar tab and a bunch of food. There was a big food table and stuff. It was insane.
Yeah, it was
And,
really lovely.
Yeah, it was awesome, hey? But
Yeah.
yeah, Jai was there anyway,
Yes.
and we had a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for you.
No.
You're all conventioned out.
I was.
You're
yeah.
like, I've spent enough time with these fucking
No,
tattooers.
it was actually just really nice to reconnect with everybody.
Oh, that's good.
I haven't seen some of those guys for a long, long time, and I think we've all been a bit insular in our tattoo studios in Perth.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really, really good, situation to just bring everybody back together again and have everyone realize that everyone still does really like everybody.
Yes.
And that we do have this collective, a collection of things that we like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in the same industry, and it's a really tricky thing. There's a lot of bullshit and politics when it comes to tattooing, but I think the beauty about a tattoo convention is, you put them all in the same room together, and then people do get on, and it's sick, and it's a great vibe.
I mean, we're all tattooing in the same town, so we all do have the same experience, to be honest. Everything that's happening in your shop is also happening in everybody else's shop. But you don't realize that, I think. You get stuck in your shop and you think, oh, gosh, is everyone else feeling this? Or is everyone else noticing the change in tattooing? And then you actually meet them and everyone is, So it feels better.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty universal experience. You know, a lot of what's happening in the industry at the moment.
Worldwide as well.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you can see it on socials, and people in the States are saying the same thing.
Yes.
Podcasts are saying the same thing.
Exactly.
But to actually be in a room with everybody from the same town and everybody feel the same thing and say the same thing, it's that group collection of like, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all finding it,
It's scary but relieving at the same time
Yeah.
to know that you're not alone.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah.
Damn, it was sick. It was so refreshing. The expo was so refreshing and well made and put together. And I'm gonna definitely be here next year for it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We had the greatest time, and we tattooed so many people,
So
and
many people.
so many more people were wanting to get tattooed, and we were just like, sorry,
Turning
man,
them
like,
away. That's how I felt. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't, I just can't fit you in.
it's 2 days. It was
just
only
down
2
the street
days.
at Holdfast. Come see me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's
And I think that
crazy.
would be great for other Perth tattooers as well. It's like, I can't tattoo you right now, but I'm in town. That's the difference. When I work somewhere like Sydney, or even when I've done international conventions, Copenhagen and Amsterdam, you're not getting customers from those places. You're just feeding your soul
Yes.
for tattooing, And then that helps the customers when you come back home, because then they get the benefit of that. They get
Okay.
all your stories, but they also get your renewed passion.
Yeah.
It's just been topped up. Like, throughout the year, it kind of gets a little bit lower and you get the bullshit from some of the industry things that are going on. And then you do a convention and it's back up there. And you're just like, okay, this is sustaining me until the next one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get fresh inspiration.
You do. So, but the difference being a tattoo convention in your own town is actually you might get some work from it.
100%.
Yeah, and you get your name back out there. There's so many shops now. It's kind of like, even though Holdfast has been around forever, it's not one of the new shops. It's, it's not as popular. It's not as trending. It's not anything. It's just doing good, solid tats. And it's kind of nice to put it back out there a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel consistency is so important when it comes to it. Like, with popularity, it comes and goes. It fluctuates. But with consistency, Holdfast Tattooing, just putting out good quality tats, good quality times, good quality music, you have a good quality experience, no matter whether you come on a Tuesday or a Saturday or next week or next month or next year. You know what I mean? It's consistent. You're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be fun. But I find with new things and like fluctuation, there's gonna be just that. There's gonna be fluctuation. So by having a shop that's been here for nearly 20 years, Holdfast Tattoo in East Vic Park, this is motherfucking it when it comes to. That's exactly
We're
it.
holding fast.
It's Holdfast.
Yeah. And I think it does that because we are so passionate about what we do. That does, I think our customers do feel that.
Yeah.
And that's why they return.
Yes.
And I think we've almost gone back to with Instagram now, the algorithm being so crazy, we're not even kind of advertising ourselves in just a tattoo community. We're also up against every other genre of entertainment on one platform.
Yeah.
We don't have anywhere else to advertise really our tattoos, but we're also, I see one picture and then I see 5 other things: boating, camping, dogs, music,
Adverts.
and then another tattoo. So you're not. It's not a good playing field to be advertising your stuff. So I feel like that back to the old ways of, do you like the tattoo? Do your family like the tattoo? Do your friends like the tattoo? That's how you get more and more customers. It's almost like we've gone global and now we've kind of come back to Perth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perth people. How's your experience of Holdfast? Did you have a good time? You'll tell your friends it was good and they'll come back because you cannot rely on social media anymore.
No, the best recommendation is by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably
100%.
always has been, but I think we kind of all got lost in that little bit of like, oh my God, look at Instagram. This is fantastic. We can all put our stuff on there. We'll be social media famous. And now, you'd be lucky if, you see one tat in 10,
100%.
in 10 pictures.
Everyone's a content creator.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a role that like I wasn't willing to sort of take on as extra. Also, you're doing tattoos full time, you're drawing for tattoos full time, you're like cleaning your station full time, you're doing this, but with Instagram and when they brought in the reels and everything, you're now having to be like an entertainer, and it's and like I try and stay pretty prevalent with stories. I'm like always pumping stories out there, but like posts and anything else, I just can't be fucked.
Yeah. I will try and do a reel if I've been somewhere, a convention, something like that. It's funny, I don't actually mind doing it. I did at the beginning because I was like, this is not my job to do this. But then my job used to be print tattoo photos and put them in an envelope and send them to Tattoo Candy.
Yes.
Or send them to International Tattoo Magazine and hope they get in. So I've always had to do some kind of advertising.
Yeah.
I remember when it was no longer photos, when you had to put your pictures onto a CD. And it was like, oh my God, what is this technology? I actually have to put my pictures in a computer to be able to put them on something to now send them off.
Okay.
So there's been changes along the way with that too. And I've had to do that. And I've had to keep up with that. So doing this is an extra and it's a pain in the ass, but it's just that kind of little bit extra thing that has to be done on top of tattooing, which there's always been something that you've had to do to get your work out there extra.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the extra. And you probably met Jed Hill as well over in Sydney, tattooing 51 years. And when I met him after he'd done his talk on tattoo history, he's like, oh, give me your Instagram and we'll become friends on there. And then we messaged each other on there over the weekend. And I thought, wow, he's been tattooing 51 years. And the first thing he says is, put your Instagram handle in there and let's be friends. And then he commented on my reels. So, you know, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
100%.
You know?
That's it.
He probably
cool.
doesn't, probably thinks, well, why do I have to do this bullshit? But he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
Good on him.
Good one, Jed.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
That's sick. Respect to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting lazier in my ways when it comes to like I really want to put a lot of my focus into my tats. But yeah, I wasn't personally prepared for all the extra stuff that I had to do. But I am willing and able to do the extra stuff. But
Yeah. I think if it's hard because you feel like if you do that and you get some reward, fantastic. Or if you do that and the people that you want to see that stuff see it and you get the reward, that's great. But you do it, but you don't know who sees it.
yes.
You don't know where it's going. You know, like I say, you're up against a million other things in there.
Okay.
So it's hard because you feel like you put in the extra effort, but you don't necessarily get the reward for it. So I think that's hard when you don't necessarily see it back, but you think I've still got to keep doing this.
It's very similar to like this podcast. It's getting all this traction on Spotify, but I don't know anyone who's listening to it. There's no like personalized analytics.
Yeah.
It's just numbers. It's like how many plays, how many people have listened, like how many clicks per month. And it's, you know, it's wild. It's fucking wild, man. The internet is a crazy place.
Yeah.
It's
It
like a
is.
fucking, you know, I don't know, the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, just another fucking little spider in this fucking thing trying to like get my way out.
Yeah.
We're all doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the same. You
We're
know,
all
talking
just-
to everyone at the convention, everyone's still doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're still trying.
We're all
We are.
navigating it together.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's unreal, eh?
But yeah, I don't know. I've never been the hugest on social media or anything like that. I find it quite draining, but
Yeah.
you know, you got to kind of go with it, I guess. There's not many other ways around it.
No.
But I do find that most of the work I get, really, it's all from word of
is.
mouth
Yeah.
at the end of
Yes.
the day.
I think my Instagram probably helps me with international customers.
Yes.
And like I say, very, very fortunate that, you know, I do get people who are coming to Perth on holiday from Europe.
Yep.
And they will contact me in a few months in advance and say, I'm going to be in Perth these dates. Do you have time? So I still do get international customers from that. And I'm sure my Perth customers love it when they get their tattoo on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
love it. Love it when you get your picture
Yeah.
put out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It used to be completely different when you'd wait to see what, if any of your photographs would get into any magazines.
Wow.
And if they did, you kind of felt.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Now, me and Zuzz were in Tassie and we were in like a crazy old bookshop. But yeah, we found like a tattoo candy and we were flipping through and I was like, oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
And we spotted a few tats that you'd done, which was sick.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
You
so
were published. You're a published
I
artist.
was very fortunate. I think early days back when I left the States, went back to the UK, made sure that I worked a lot of tattoo conventions in the UK at that time. Like I say, I'd only really been tattooing for two years, just totally winging it. And during that time, I got featured in about 3 magazines: Skin Deep, International Tattoo, something else. But it really, really helped.
Yeah.
Because that was just there's my international focus straight away. And it was so good. Like even when I moved over here, there was a newsagent at the end of the street and you could walk in there and there were so many tattoo magazines. Even if you didn't buy them all, I would just stay in there for like an hour just having to flick through and be like, oh my God, look at that and look at that. So that's how I would see what was going on back in Europe after I'd moved here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think having those couple of interviews and pit spreads on me early in my career really, really helped.
Yes.
And then when I came here, I was just pretty diligent. I was just like, okay, I'm going to print off every tat I do and I'm just going to send it to everywhere. So I would start putting them for, all the European magazines, all the ones over here. I was probably spending a fortune on postage. It was just kind of like, just get them out there. And then when they did get in, it was probably about 6 months later.
Yeah.
But man, it felt good,
Yeah.
It was like you were chosen. Whereas now Instagram, you can put whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
There's no choice,
Yes.
Someone hasn't said, oh, this is what we think is good. It's just everything's out there. So yeah, to have someone put something in there, you're like, oh, well, that must have been okay.
Yeah.
the print media is like not really a thing when it comes to tattoo magazines anymore. No one's really doing it. Like obviously it must not be a viable source of like people can't make money off it, so they just don't do it. It costs them money and they go bankrupt, etc. But it would be cool if they did bring it back, if there was an Australian tat mag that did come back and it was like, you know, the tattoo community in Australia got behind it. And
I think people would buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
would.
think because when you think about things like record collecting that's gone through the roof again, people don't want, you know, digital music's fantastic. Listen to whatever you want straight away, but people are collecting albums, records, vinyl again.
Yes.
Because there's something tangible about having that in your hands and having the artwork on the cover and reading through the book. If there was an Australian tat mag, I'd definitely buy it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And you'd be in a featured page.
Yeah,
You'd be the
imagine.
centerfold. Whoa,
Yeah.
look at all those tats.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
There's always that longing to return to
Yeah.
the old formula, I guess.
Yeah. There's something nostalgic about it, I think.
100%.
It's a beautiful thing. Have you kept them all? Have you got them all still?
I do have most of them.
Sick.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that there was like a girls edition that I got into over here. But yeah, Australian print for tattoo magazines was pretty prevalent when I was over here. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like even the rock and roll magazines, like Blunt and Kerrang, like I don't even think are a thing anymore.
No,
You know?
I used to love Kerrang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
were
where I
great.
find out about my gigs. You know,
Sure.
yeah,
100%,
back in the
yeah.
day, it was just that's how you find out about stuff.
It's crazy. Yeah. Print media's really kind of gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
That's such a good thing. It's gone the way of the dodo. It's
Yeah.
fucking dead.
Maybe we can revitalize it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
It'd be
Someone's
sick.
got to do it.
I reckon maybe if I didn't tattoo full time and have a full time podcast, I'd probably be into it. I'd be like, I'm going to do this.
yeah.
Yeah. It would be cool.
But I think I'm going to spend more of my focus into my 360 tat bed.
Yeah.
Idea. You might get
Yeah,
richer
yeah.
off that. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
The gyro bed.
But it's got like those like armrests with the ball.
Yeah.
And so you put it and then you can like move it and it's like on a ball.
It's a ball and socket.
Yeah, it's a ball and socket. Yeah, that's how it's going to work.
Okay.
Don't copy my idea, people of the internet. That's pretty much it. We're up.
Holy.
Okay.
That
It's been
flew
awesome.
by.
Yeah.
Unreal. I can't believe it.
That was super fun.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you so
Had a
much.
Little look back through my career. It's been fun.
Yeah. No, it's been amazing to hear all about it. It's super, super cool.
Yeah, I find it very interesting and I don't know, very inspirational.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's fucking sick. What you got going on is so sick.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for inviting me to do this as well. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, thanks
pleasure.
for having us in here.
Yeah, we're at Holdfast Tattoo in East Vic Park in Western Australia. If you're ever out here, come check it out. Come get
Yeah.
tattooed by Suzi or the crew out here. They're all good people. And I promise you won't be unhappy with what you get.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, rats get fat. We're out.
Bye-bye.